Hello, beautiful people. I am so happy to have you all here. I was trying to see if I can start the live show. I see Yaya, I see you new, I see Angela, and all of you who are in them bushes. There's Liz. Thank you, Liz. Take care. And there is Crafty Leo. I am so blessed to have all of you here. Thank you. You've been doing a lot of networking and connecting. You're so welcome. Thank you so much. And I'm really blessed to have you. I'm happy for all of you who are here and then who will just be lingering while waiting a little. Yes, you knew. I was waiting for time up, but we could get a few more minutes with you guys is always a big pleasure. So it's my pleasure to have all of you, and I'm so blessed to be in this community. I want to thank you all for making this community a really reliable community where we are all building each other up and really not just like coming together, but it's we are now family. And so it's always a pleasure because most often when we really don't feel very well, we just go to YouTube, we will meet one of the family members, and it is always a pleasure. Butterroll, you are so welcome. It's a big pleasure for me to meet you too. I am so happy for all of us. And I'm so happy that we have this avenue where we can meet and grow together, a community of people who are building each other up. And that's really very important because we live in the times now are so challenging that there is everything coming on, and sometimes people don't even have anybody to talk with. And so even though we are talking virtually, but it's like I know all of you, it's like you guys live next door, and so it's always a big pleasure. Hi Ruthie, I am sorry, I will catch the replay. I couldn't stay up. I was really dozing, so I'll catch all the replays for the people who I missed. I went at I finished after uh, 2 o'clock, and then I went to catch a little sleep. And so I was saying it's always a real pleasure to know that you have a community of people who are building each other up. It's always really so good to know that you have people on whom you can rely, because sometimes it gets so difficult and challenging that you just need some person to talk with who will understand you and understand where you are at, who will understand you without any judgment. And that's why these communities are so necessary. And if we have one thing to thank the pandemic for, is the ability to work online. And the online communities are becoming more and more like it's becoming like an everyday thing. And it's even more than like if you have to meet people face to face, because most often we don't have time to go up and down. But here we are going to be more than a couple of dozens of people together building each other up. Good morning, the BC Gaming Dispatcher. It's a pleasure to have you. We are doing greetings, everybody talking to everybody while waiting for the hour to hit, and then we will start. And I was saying, I have the pleasure to be in the most amazing community of people who are building each other up. We have so much to learn from each other. Hi, Cruising. I was so amazed at at all the good things you said about cruises. I have heard a lot about it, but I come from real mountain areas where we don't have a lot of water. Even though in Cameroon we have part of it, we have the Atlantic Ocean, but I come from the side section where it's only hills and the savannah. And so me and water, we don't go along very well. But I will learn. Hey, my dear friend, the motivation from the weightlifting geek himself, the co-organizer and the chairperson of building communities and of collecting people who build each other up. So you are so welcome. I am so proud to be part of this community, and I love you all. I am really happy to be an integral part of the community. Thank you again, African Dreaming, and everybody. It is so much honor to be part of this community of people who are building each other up. Because sometimes we get so challenged, we don't know where to start. But when you think about one or two people in the network, you, even if you don't see them, you click on their channels, you will hear something or listen to something that will lift your spirit. Or even you will meet a live stream where you can really just communion with people, like-minded people, people who just want to grow. Hi, the bot files. Good morning, everybody. I'm so blessed to have you all. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being a community that we can trust and rely on, a community of people building each other up. It is so important because sometimes some people just need someone to say a nice word to them to make their life different, to make their life better. Sometimes people just need a smile to just feel that they are being seen. And so it is, I don't take it for granted that I belong to such an amazing community. And that's why anytime I have the opportunity, I always so take it with so much gratitude, because I know that every time I interact with any one of you, I am always uplifted. I am blessed, and it is an honor once again to be part of this live-a-thon. This one is it's going towards the end of the year. It's a busy period where people are really just putting everything together and preparing to start the new year with a bang. But life, we don't see the demarcation clearly. So life is continuous. And so sometimes it's high period, sometimes it's low period. But at the end of the day, we have to continue living. And so the time is 9 o'clock. Well, 9 o'clock where I am, because I'm 2 hours behind Eastern Standard Time. And that's why sometimes I get mixed up with the time. But it's 9 o'clock here, and it's a big pleasure to have all of you here. Welcome, Ben. Welcome, Mike. Today we have a live-a-thon of a group of amazing content creators who have been up for the next for the from for the next 24 hours, or from 12 midnight to 12 midnight. And so we have a 12-hour live-a-thon of amazing content creators, of amazing people building each other up, of amazing people just helping each other to see the light or to make life a lot easier. And so when I got this space, which is a big honor, because in a community of so many people, to have 1 hour to stay with you all, it's a big blessing, and I don't take it for granted. And so today I would really like to share about effective communication. We often hear that communication is the most important life skill, because we need it in everything. And effective communication greatly contributes to personal and professional success. And so communication is something that we do every day, but we have to find a way of doing it strategically. And that's why I put in the thumbnail, communicate with strategy. Because when you have intentional way of doing things, you have intended results. And that's why it is so important to learn the communication skills that you will need for your day-to-day life, either in your family, in your office with your colleagues, or as you go out, you will always meet people, and there will always be a need to communicate. And so it is so important to learn these skills. And the good thing is, these skills can be learned. Just like we learn how to cook, we have a new recipe and stuff. So you can learn these new skills, or you can relearn them and practice them daily to have a better relationship with people, and to be a pleasant person that people would like to always be around. And so I'm going to deal especially with communication in relationships, because that is what is communication is a broad topic, and communication in relationships is really more important because we have relationships everywhere, in the homes, with our spouses, with our children, with our neighbors, with everybody we meet. Communication comes into play. And so I am grateful to share this space and to share my thoughts, and for us to have a very pleasant time together. And so in communication, it's not only limited to talking. Communication also englobes conversation, listening, body language, sign language, the presentation, negotiation, and all of these are mandatory to get your message across. Because if you don't put if you don't have an intent, you're just going to talk anyhow, and you, like, people will think you're just rambling. And so before we get into the core of how to fix communication in your relationships, I just want to give a rundown of the a few basic skills that you need to be a good communicator. You don't need to, because in a communication, you don't need to be an expert. You just want to negotiate, and you just want to dialogue with the person you are talking with. And that's why they call it communicate. It's a dialogue. It's two ways. It's not like when we go to church, where the preacher will be preaching and we are listening. This is different. Communication. Thank you so much. You are also awesome. I am awesome because I am in an awesome community. I really welcome everybody in the chat. It's going so fast. I can't catch up with the chat, but I'm really grateful for everybody who is here supporting and building each other up. And so, communication, basic skills that we can use every day to make communication better. Hi, Miss V, you're so welcome. The first skill is have something good to say. When you are going to communicate, or when you're going to talk with somebody, because like we have said, communication is a dialogue. It's between the two people, the person who is talking and the person who is listening, the person with whom you are interacting. Find something good to say. Choose a meaningful way to say it, because no matter how well-meaning you are, when you don't have a good way of talking, people can misinterpret what you were saying. People can misinterpret what your intent is, and then a well-meaning thing that you wanted to do might turn out sour. So the first little skill is little, but it's basic. Have something nice to say. Even if it's something about your life, find a good story to tell about yourself. The second thing is organize your thoughts before you share them. Because no matter how well-meaning you are, if you don't organize the things that you have to say, you will just end up talking anyhow, and the meaning will be missed in all of that. And so organize your thoughts. When you organize your thought, it gives your message the best chance of being received correctly and with clarity. The third basic skill you need: repetition. Repetition, like they say, is the father, the mother, the brother, the sister of learning. it can often be very helpful to rephrase what you're saying, repeat it in severally so that the person will understand what you're saying. And so when you repeat it, it's not like you are monotonous in saying the things that you're saying. You say them in one way, you say them the other way, and make the person who is listening to really understand what you're saying, because you solidify your message in this way. And so you are repeating to make sure that the person with whom you're talking is at the same level of understanding with you. And optimally, you have to be, number 4, clear and concise. So when you are in a conversation, be clear in the message that you want to pass along. Because when you are not clear, it gives your message different meanings. And of course, you know what can happen when people misinterpret what you're saying. You can be well-meaning, but you say something that people will misinterpret you, and then it goes sour. Like I always say, like people who read the Bible, when you remember when Jesus was communicating, when he was choosing his disciples, he just said, "Follow me." Get to your point quickly and efficiently without being rude or short, while using the right tone and the right word choice. And that's how we also have to pay attention with the tone of the voice and our word choice. So this help you to be a good communicator or to communicate effectively. Another basic skill is say what you want to say. Don't always assume that people will understand. And avoid, when you are in the conversation, avoid things like, guess what? Sometimes people really are not in the mood to guess things, or you don't have to stay there and be thinking and really like the person is already disoriented before you start the conversation. Say it. Do not assume that people know, and avoid putting a lot of suspense, because people's concentration span is not as long as we think. And the other basic skill that I will share with you today is listening and paying attention to both verbal and non-verbal cues, body language, the tone, and the way you use your words. They play a very important role in communication. And so my intent today was how to fix communication in your relationships. I want to welcome everybody who is coming in. The chat is running so fast, I can't call all of you by name, but I acknowledge all of your support. I acknowledge everyone who is here, and I'm so grateful for all of your time. You could have been doing something else, but you are here. We are hanging out together. Thank you very much for everything, and for this amazing community. And so now to the crux of our subject. How do you fix communication in your relationships? Because we have seen that communication is the center of every relationship. And we have seen a few basic skills on how to communicate, but specifically, how to have a good conversation to transform your relationship. I'm sharing just a few of the things that I use and that I know. Thanks for the share, blessing, and thanks everyone. So I'm going to share what I'm sharing is a few of the things that I have learned along the way, and I have practiced, and I have seen that it works like magic. And one of the real main things that I learned is that if you are committed to a relationship, you have to communicate at all costs. But you need to be deliberate and ask empowering questions. Because what are we saying? You want to fix your relationship, which means there is a conflict, or there is something that you have to clarify, or there is something that you have to communicate. You have to communicate it in such a way that the person you are talking with, your spouse, your colleague, your child, the person with whom you have dialogue with, will be receptive and have an open mind for you to have a solution oriented communication. And so experts have said that when you have challenges in your relationship and you want to fix them, you ask empowering questions that facilitate dialogue. For example, you have a problem or a challenge with your colleague or with your spouse or with anybody for that matter, because nobody is neglected, even with your children. Ask empowering questions. And the first empowering question they say is, what is it that I can do to move us out of this situation? Which means you are at the position to negotiate, to listen, to dialogue, to really find a solution that is workable for two of you. And the second question is, where can we focus on to help us avoid ever being here again? And the third question is, what lesson would you like us to get from this experience? And so these three empowering questions are so relevant, because most often we ask questions of what have I done, or what can you tell me, why did you do that? And experts say why questions lead to further conflict. And sometimes when we ask why questions or what questions, we are not really ready to get the answer. We will not really be happy with the answer. And so avoid why questions, what questions when you are trying to fix a relationship, because those are questions that bring out your ego, and then you don't focus on the solution. And so when you ask yourself what you need to do, it means you want to find ways of fixing things without losing yourself. And when they say without losing yourself, it's to say that when you are in a conflict situation, it's not like we want to see who will win. You are asking these questions without losing yourself, because they say when you give and serve someone else, there is an overflow and it comes back to you. And so what you give out is what you get in. And that is why it is so important to think about these empowering questions and to learn to use them next time when you are trying to fix your relationship. And so relationships, like my coach says, life is a transaction, life is relationships. And when in a transaction, it's not I have to win. When you do win-win transactions, everybody gets value, and it's so useful. And you are a pleasant person. People want to do business with you because you always bring value, you keep their dignity intact, and you always find solutions. So you are a solution-oriented person. Therefore, it is better to find the best way to handle a relationship challenge with these empowering questions. It is also important to have a conversation with oneself for self-knowledge, because sometimes you go from the point of you don't even know yourself, you don't even know what you want, you don't even know what is at stake, and then you just enter in conversations that has no direction. And so many times things can be achieved through better communication. And that is why they say communication is the doorway to everything. Communication is the bridge. Communication is also the distance between you and everything you want to communicate about. So it depends now on the way you handle the communication. And so when you figure out all of these things, it is a bridge, and you use the bridge to cross to something better, or to cross to the other side. You don't want to remain in this side of what you're doing, or what you're challenged with. So I'm so really like always happy when we talk about communication like a basic thing. Meanwhile, it is such a thing that we need to learn how to do it. And these things that we are talking about is not difficult to learn. They are not difficult to learn, but they can be practiced bit by bit, and then you make it a daily habit, and you make it your lifestyle. So when I was thinking about this topic, I quickly came across one quotation that I would like to share with you, and that summarizes the importance of communication, especially in relationships. And it goes like this: a little communication goes such a long way. If you are busy, say it. If you are upset, express it. If you are running late, let people know. If you don't want to do something, be straightforward. And if you are unsure, ask. It is so simple, but it is so important. And so we see the importance of communication in everything. I'm going to drop the link in the chat for anyone who wants to come up and share their ideas and share their views. You are welcome to come up for this discussion. The Liveathon is on. We are sharing what we know and the things that we have used to help us. So I don't know what you think about the quotation. I would like to hear your views. I would like to hear your own contribution, because all of us are in relationships, either in our homes with our spouses, either in the office with colleagues, or even just going out to the shopping mall. Everywhere where we go as humans, we are built for socialization, and we are social beings, and communication is something that we use every day. And so please, anybody who is motivated to come up, I have the link in the chat. You can come up and we can talk more about the subject. But while waiting, I would like to read the quote again, and I really like for you to share your opinion about the quote. And the quote goes: a little communication goes such a long way. If you are busy, say it. If you are upset, express it. If you are running late, let people know. If you don't want to do something, be straightforward. If you are unsure, ask. It is so simple, but so important. And I'm coming back to this, the absolutely. Swoop like me says, I'm always trying to accommodate people. I'm learning to say no, but my mind goes straight to helping someone even if I'm busy. That's very true, Swoop. It's really, really important to help people, but also it is important to think about you. And don't feel guilty when you say no. I also used to feel guilty when I said no. I was a yes person, trying to help everybody, trying to like be there for everyone else. You have to learn to be there for you. I learned to be there for me, because you have to be there for you first, and then with your energy and your overflow, you can be there for others better. And so when you have the habit of helping people, once you say no, it's not like you've killed somebody. It is okay to say no. And like they say, no is a complete sentence. Yes, six bows. No, no, no. Quick and short with no explanation required. Absolutely. It's I know that it's really difficult, but if you learn how to say no without, you don't need to explain. There's a proverb in Africa. They say, even if you bathe under the rain, your enemies will still accuse you of raising dust. And what does it mean? This means no matter how well meaning you are, no matter what you do, there will always be one person that will criticize what you're doing. And so when they know is for you, keep it. Don't feel any guilt, because you have to protect you first. This Every other help will come as a bonus, but you have to be first on your line. And so absolutely no is a complete sentence that does not require any explanation. Like they say again, don't spend your life explaining. One, your enemies will not believe you. Two, your friends don't need for you to explain. Your friends know that when you say no, it means you are not disposed. Your enemies, no matter what you do, they will still criticize you. And Botaro says, I'm just learning this also. I've always tried to change myself for others. I'm just beginning to settle in my own skin. That is a noble mission, and it is really, really important, because all of us, we have passed through all of those things. And at a certain point, you really learn that you have to be first on your own line. You have to be your own best friend. You have to be your own hero. You have to be your own reference point. It is not selfish, it is just self-care. And if you crash, the day you crash, it's you who is crashing. People will just say, oh, I'm sorry, oh, really, and all of that. Oh, take heart, take care. And so your self-care is so, so important. Don't overlook it. Don't even bother what people will say. It's I have been there too. I have learned it. And all of us are learning, because life is a continuous learning process. They say every new day is a new learning, because every day things change. We are challenged in different ways, and so we have to find creative ways to stay intact and have that energy to face all those challenges. So it's not really easy to say no to certain people, or even to your children or your spouse. But sometimes it's really necessary to say the no than to really hang on and crash, because when you crash, it's more complicated for everyone else. So it's difficult, but it is necessary. And those are some of the conversations that we need to do with ourselves, because self-development is a lifelong journey. As long as you are alive, you are developing, you are growing every day. Even if you are not conscious of it, either you're growing positively or you're growing negatively. Everybody is talking to everybody. I'm really happy about this live-a-thon and us discussing with each other. And when I go back to the quotation, I really like what they say. When you are upset, express it. This is something so important, because most often we keep we keep grudges. We keep grudges so for so long, and they eat up. They eat us up, and then one grudge after another. This heart does not have a lot of space to bear garbage, because I call grudges, they are like garbage. And the more you put it in your heart, the more you are sick and depressed. Remove the grudges. When you have anything, or you're upset with somebody, tell them. It doesn't matter how their reaction will be, but you are telling them, because you have to free your mind, you have to free your heart, you have to free yourself. Don't go around carrying grudges, don't go around carrying things on your head. Speak them, talk about them. Ask a friend, tell a friend, ask somebody. If you, I like, I have my own unique way of removing any grudge or any pain. I don't know how I started this kind of life, but it has served me a lot. What do I do? Even from when I was still small, when I am pained or I'm challenged or something is really bothering me, I take my pen and my paper and I write it down. I write down everything that is bothering me, everything that is challenging me. I write it down and pour out my heart, and then I burn the paper and throw it away. I don't, and it has really worked for me, because it's not that I have a lot of family. I don't have children, and I'm a two-time divorcee. For those who don't know, I have said it in many of my videos, so you can read my story. So most of the time, I am alone, and but I am not lonely. Those are two different things. I am by myself, either because also I worked and traveled a lot, and so most of the time I was by myself. I don't sleep with any grudge. Anything that is in my heart, I write it down and I flush it away. I write it down and I tear it away. And that way it has really helped me. I really wake up the following day. I have nothing, I don't think about it again. So you can try it. I think it's really, really, I think it works, and I think it can really help. Yes, Angela, I write it down and I burn it. Burning it for me is a way of saying I am done with you. You go away. I'm telling you, I started this a very long time ago when I was still growing up. I was in my teenagers, and I don't know how I started, but I will always love writing. So I write, and I can tell you, writing is something so therapeutic. When you write, it's it has a way of translating some emotions that your keyboard cannot translate. I'm telling you, try writing, and you will tell me. Just write anything. In the evening when you come back home, even no matter how tired you are, just take a piece of paper and a pen, write down how you spend your day, write down how everything was. Just write. I'm telling you, it's good therapy. You will be so amazed at how liberated your heart will be, because you are not keeping anything in your heart, you're not keeping anything anywhere. You just write. But especially when you are writing challenging things, tear the paper and throw them away. Sometimes I used to, if I can't burn them, or if it's rainy season, I I still burn them and flush the ashes in the gutter in running water and say bye. You are gone and you are no longer in my life. It's a bizarre way, but it works. Buttero says, I like to write also. I have learned to throw it away because people have stolen my journals before. That is right. But there are two things that you're writing here. If you are keeping a journal of the beautiful things that you want to remember, keep them. I don't know why somebody will steal your journal. Maybe you wrote there where you kept your money. You wrote in your journal somewhere about somewhere where you kept some of your treasures, and people think they are taking your journal to go and find it, but it's so really people can do things. I don't know why they will steal a journal, but if you are keeping a journal, it should be of things you are grateful for, things that will build you up. If it is something that is going to hurt you, throw it, burn it and throw it, tear it. I'm telling you, it's not worth the trouble keeping all those painful things or things that would remind you of some challenges that you had or things that would remind you of some negativity. Negativity, we don't have time for negativity. Look at how challenging the world is today. Look at all the things that are challenging us. Eh, I hear you, Butterroll. I have been through so much myself. Everybody has been through so many things. And you know the beauty of us going through things. If you go to my pin post, I said resilience champions. And do you know what they call I call you resilience champions? Because all of us have 100% track record of overcoming challenges. Just remember the times that you were so challenged that you didn't know what to do, and you didn't think that you get out of it. What happened? You got out of it, and that's why I call of all of us resilience champions, because all of us, we have 100% record of overcoming challenges. Hi, dear sister, you are so welcome. I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for taking your time to come. Yes, the link is in the chat for anybody who wants to join the live stream and who has something to share. You are all welcome. I have the link in the live stream, so you just click on the link and I will bring you in. And so I was really talking about this idea of talking, because most often we don't have we always keep things to ourselves, and especially when you are in a relationship, especially with a spouse. Don't keep things to yourself. Don't think that they will understand it, that they will understand why you are angry, because yours truly, most often, people don't they are not good at people have so many things challenging them that they will not be there thinking of what is worrying you when they have their own worries. So speak up. I'm happy to invite my sisters look like me in the house.
Hello, hello. Good morning,
Hi,
y'all. Good morning.
sis,
Good
you're
morning.
so welcome. Thank
I
you for
see
all
you
you
all once
do.
again.
Thank you for your
Thank
service.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I was just saying that a lot of the things that you're saying right now is something that I believe that I'm gonna start doing because I haven't done the writing things down, to get it out, right? I do tend to hold on to stuff, not necessarily holding on to it, but I think I'm okay with it. I let it go. I let it do whatever, and then I let it go. Um, but I think it may be a little bit more productive for me to actually write it down because that's bringing it out. So I think that's a really good idea.
It is because I have tried it and it really works. You are not, because sometimes you are challenged because you are ashamed to share it with people, or you are afraid that you will be judged. You are afraid that people will not react the way you want. So when you write it down, that is you and your paper and your pen. There's nobody there. You write it down and then you flush it out.
Right,
Yes,
right,
it's
right.
really really useful. Yes, Liz, I'm so grateful for you. Even in the bushes, you are still part of the Libathon. Thank you so much. Thank you all, everyone who is in the bushes and who is still part of us. And even those who are going to watch the replay, you are so welcome. Yes, we always have to find creative ways
Mhm.
to do things. Find a way that will hurt you less. There's no, because like they say, sometimes the grudge that you're keeping, the person you have a grudge against does not even know. They don't even remember that they hurt you. They don't even remember that there was a problem.
Right.
And then you're there keeping it and dying with it. Write it down and flush it out if you can't talk with the person. But it is always good to talk, because when you talk, it's a dialogue. And when you use like the skills that I said, you use the empowering questions, it is a dialogue, and people will learn. People will, are willing to be open, because you have opened up the dialogue. You are asking the question, what is it that I can do to move us out of this situation? Where can we focus to help us avoid ever being here again? And what lesson would you like us to learn from this experience? So those are the empowering questions, and those are some of the empowering questions that you can ask. Let's go. Don't hurt the harvest. You have the microphone.
Well, thank you, Coach Mary. And I
Hello.
must say, you see, this is just of a spur of the moment thing. You can see I'm not really ready for this, but the Spirit has moved me to do this. And Miss T with the T, no, this is not something I'm comfortable with. But the communication is important. And there's somebody that has some trust has been broken with my family. And we share a relative that is so very special to us. And I don't know how I did reach out and say, we need to have a conversation. We need to sit down in a spirit of calmness and love and communicate with each other. And the person said they were so ashamed that they could not face me. And I said, there's nothing to be ashamed about. We're here. We need to work this out. But in the last week, I found out things that were, I'm trying to say this very nicely, that were insinuated about myself, and it was not correct. And I want this person to know I still love and care for them. But how do I let them know that I didn't appreciate trying to disparage my reputation, I guess, so to speak, or making it seem like it was something that it wasn't. In the conversation that we're going to have, is that something I should bring back up to this person?
If it is something that is still hurting you, and
Mm-hmm.
you have tried ways to remove it, and you can't, talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the comment that African Dreaming said, you are very brave to step out and have the courage to come live and talk about it.
Yeah, because this was not planned. I ain't got my hair done, no makeup on, but there was a movement inside of me that needed to make sure I don't do something or say something incorrectly, because this is a relationship that's going to have to continue. And I want it to be smoothly. And like I said, in relationships, there are ups and downs, but you don't say, well, I'm too embarrassed and I don't want to face you. You have to face, none of us is perfect. But I just think that I'm going to be loving whenever the person comes around and is able to face me. I will be loving, but I do have to make self care for myself and let them know that, I don't know, maybe someone can help me word this, that what was said was disparaging to me and my family, and it's not appreciated. And I would like them to correct that, but I know I can't force them to correct that. So at that point, do I just leave it alone?
You see, you have you seen all the messages that I'm putting, all the
I've been
positive
riding you
messages
as
that
much
are
as I can.
supporting
I'm
you?
sleepy. I'm about to be unconscious, but
Everybody is so supporting you in the comments.
I
don't
can't
know.
see the
Swoop.
comments because I'm trying not to cry.
Oh, okay. You have a lot of support in the comments. Everybody is encouraging you and congratulating you
Thank
and
you,
sending you
everybody.
their love. Swoop, do
Thank
you
you.
have anything to say before I say something? Do you have any advice to give?
No,
No,
the
I'm
only
asking
advice
Swoop.
I have to give is you stop, you breathe in and out, and you don't act on anything quickly.
Okay, no, now I'm asking Swoop. Swoop,
Oh,
do you have anything to say?
I'm sorry. Hi, Swoop.
Hi, Swoop. Are you still with us? Oh, it looks like Swoop is.
Okay, she might be busy, but yeah,
Okay.
I
No,
don't want to interrupt you. I'm going to let you go back, and I'm going to continue to listen in the background.
no,
But
you are on point, and don't even worry because we are here together. We are a community of people who are building and helping each other.
I feel
And
like I'm channeling the old Mary that went through a journey with me a while back. But the Lord God sends people in your journey, and I believe.
I am happy to serve, and you got this. Look, all of us are sending you love, we are sending you hugs, and we are sending you just a shoulder to lean on. You are beautiful and you are worthy of abundance. You are worthy of all the good things that you deserve. And so never ever forget that. Like
Okay.
somebody said, when you are counting beautiful things,
Mm-hmm.
count you first.
All right.
Whenever you are counting beautiful things,
All right.
count you first.
I will
Because
do.
you are worthy and you are worthy of every good thing that can happen.
All right.
And like I always say, it is not because people will say something or people will think whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about it?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about it?
I feel like a very important person in my life will miss out on a side of her family if this is not ironed out. And I love this person so much that I want anybody that wants to love her to love her. But they have to love her in the correct way. And if that means I have to say no, don't hate me because I'm saying no. I'm saying no because I have to protect someone. And I want you to love her enough. Ooh, I'm trying to keep things. I want you to love this relative enough to where you understand certain trusts have to be kept.
Let
And
me tell you, everybody in the chat, we are 29 people in this live stream. All 29 of us are sending you big hugs.
well, I'm
We
hugging
are sending
you,
you our love. We
Miss.
are sending you our support. And you are beautiful.
Thank you.
Just be
I
authentic.
are too.
And you know what I learned? I learned from one of the motivational speakers. Sometimes a relationship is complete. It has come to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Don't force it.
Mm-hmm.
And don't even bother to mend things that can no longer be mended.
All right.
And so if you
Right.
like, if I would say, if you have used these empowering questions
Mm-hmm.
and it's not possible to have dialogue with the person, audit them out. Audit them out. It's not because you don't like them or whatever. It's
Right.
because your
Right.
first responsibility is to protect your peace, is to
Right.
protect you.
Right.
And so you have to protect you first. And don't let people's negativity
Mm-hmm.
bring you down.
All right.
Don't let people's bad days become your bad days. Everybody should be able to carry their own cross.
Yes.
If I'm going to help you carry the cross, you have got to make it lighter for me.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
if I'm coming to help you carry your cross and you abandon it on me because it has to crush me, by no.
All right.
I'll tell you no.
All
I
right.
have left 2 marriages. I am proud to say I left because it was no longer serving me.
Right. Right.
People would think that I'm not a good example because I failed in 2 marriages. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
I am at peace with myself.
Mm-hmm.
I am at peace with the decisions that I made. And because I learned that I had the responsibility to protect me.
Okay.
There was no use for me to be in a marriage
Right.
where I would die prematurely
Mm-hmm.
because I want to bear the name Mrs. Because if you come from Africa, when you are not married, it's like you are a third class, especially when you reach. I am 57 and I am proud of my age.
I am 60 and I am proud the Lord gave me 60 years.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And
And this YouTube thing, excuse me, is new to me, but it's something that I find that helps and inspires me. I find people that love to garden. I find other people that have same interests, and it's a wonderful journey. I'm enjoying this journey. My husband, I've been married for 33 years. Wonderful, wonderful man. We have been through the fire, but we've come through and we don't smell like smoke. So I thank God for that.
congratulations,
Yes,
you did
yes,
it. You
yes,
did it.
we did it. And when you think you're in a good place, that's when the enemy will come and throw something at you. And I'm at the point, I'm like, I didn't run a fool with that, but I wanted to make sure that I was right. I didn't want to throw somebody to the curb and it wasn't the right thing to do. But come next Thursday, this person has a opportunity to come to my house to sit, for us to sit together in peace and pray and to conversate. And if this person does not come, I have my answer.
Absolutely. Look, if the chat is, when you go
I'm going,
down from the chat, take
oh
time
my God.
to collect your flowers, to collect your love, because it is overflowing. More than 30 people in the chat, they are sending you flowers, they are sending you love, they are sending you hugs,
Thank you.
and we are all there
God bless.
because
I appreciate this.
we
This was
because
my share.
community.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We are in the best community of
Yeah,
people building each other.
yes.
And Bishop Preparedness said, no failure, always learning.
Yes.
Either you learn or you win.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it is always you first. Then what can I do for the others? And all I will tell you is you have all the love from all of us.
All right.
We have gone through a lot of challenges,
Mm-hmm.
some challenges more than others.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell you what, the best thing that you can do to yourself, protect your peace. Put you first on your line. Be the hero in your own movie.
Yes.
If the person is open to dialogue, use the empowering questions.
Right.
What is it
That we can.
that we can do to move us from this situation? Where can we focus to help us avoid this in the
Right.
future?
Right.
And what lesson would you like us to learn from this experience?
Yes.
If those empowering questions don't work, if the person does not come, you can save somebody who does not want to be saved.
Right. Right. Right.
And you can't force them. But what you cannot do, don't let them drag you in their drama.
Exactly. That's it. Because I'm a no drama person. And my
Don't let them drag you in their drama.
person. And it's like they were people are trying to bring drama into our lives, and that's not us. We've been through enough. And the other day the phone rang from a drama person, and I was proud of myself. I didn't answer it.
Oh, girl, I'm telling you, let me share you one story that I heard from Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey says every 6 months he takes his phone and he does an audit. Every 6 months, he takes his phone. He does an audit. There are people who, every time they call, it's a big problem, or they are not looking for his welfare. He deletes them. And he says he does an audit on his phone every time, and that he doesn't even leave the option to leave a message.
There you go.
And he even said it, for all his family, there's just one of his siblings that is in his phone contact. I'm telling you, he said what? All his family, there's just one person in his phone contact. Because why? He is protecting his peace.
Yeah.
Anybody who is calling him and bringing drama,
Yes.
you are deleted from his contacts.
Right.
So they don't even have the opportunity to call him and to give him a bad day or to give him bad news. So I think it's a very useful strategy. Learn to audit the energy around you. My coach says they are energy vampires. Audit them off your life.
I'm gonna write that down.
They are audits.
Yes.
Who are energy audits. Every person that is not helping you to grow, edit them off. Even if they are a family member, you love them, but from the distance, in family meetings and everywhere, but not for them to drag you in their drama.
Right.
Don't allow it. That is your responsibility.
There you go.
You have that responsibility. So it's not left to them. It is left for you to protect your energy, to protect your space, to protect yourself. Hi, boss. That's my able coach, Boss Life Online. And if you see me doing amazing things, I have an amazing coach. Boss, you are so welcome. I'm so grateful that you took time off your busy Saturday morning.
Oh my God. I've been up all night trying to write be in the lives and everything. I did kind of take me a nap, so to speak, but I appreciate this. And Miss T, if you're in the chat, I can't see. I did it, and it's funny that I didn't know how to do anything, but it's like something just guided my fingers to push, and it was just clear to me. So I know this was something I was supposed to do. So I love you guys. I'm going to check out, but I'm going to still be in the live.
Thank you so much for your energy.
I love you all. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for your encouragement. I appreciate it.
We love you too, and we are so proud of you. Don't forget, we are so proud of you because we want you to be the hero in your own movie. We want you to be the first on your line.
All right.
So I would like to thank you for coming up the panel. I thank you, Swoop. I don't know what happened. She froze. And she
probably
thank you very much.
The harvest came in and I can't even get in because she keep talking. But I appreciate Swoop and everybody, African Dreaming. I don't want to start naming names because I can't.
Because there are more than 31 people in the chat. And so
I can't get them all.
Yeah, so we thank them. But I want you to hear this. I want you to hear this reflection from the Educated Natural. She says, in addition to auditing all the negative people, all the negative energy, audit your YouTube channels too if they are causing you issues or drama. So you don't only audit the channels that you follow.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. God bless.
You're welcome and take care. So we are going to the BC Dispatcher. Please, can you put your channel in the chat? Thank you, Onwadiya, for coming. I'm so happy. I'm so blessed. Thank you, everybody, for coming, for interacting with us, for sharing, and just for showing love. Thank you so much for everything. Our next person is the BC Gaming Dispatcher. Please, if you are still here, can you put your channel in the link? Please put your channel in the link Please, can somebody put BC Dispatchers channel on the link? We are going there next. I want to thank you all for a very productive morning. It's Saturday, and we have decided to spend it in a positive way, building ourselves and learning and growing, because this is all what we are doing, learning and growing. Hi, Tori. I can just start naming everybody who is in the chat. You are so many. I don't have the blessing to have a lot of people in my chat every day. Thank you, everybody. And even those of us who are in the bushes who still found time. Found time. Thank you so much, Queen, for putting the next person's link, the BC Dispatcher. Thank you so much. I am so grateful. Yes, African dreaming. When you have the courage to even stand up and speak out, you have solved your problems already 50% gone, because the next 50% you can handle it. Speak up. Let me leave you with the quotation that we were reflecting on this morning. They said, a little communication goes such a long way. If you are busy, say it. If you are upset, express it. If you are running late, let people know. And if you don't want to do something, be straightforward. If you are unsure, ask. It's so simple, but it's so, so important. And so thank you for this come together where we have shared how to fix communication in your relationships. And we have, if there's anything I would like you to take home, is the 3 empowering questions in communication to fix a relationship. The 3 empowering questions that experts propose that we can use. What is it that I can do to move us out of this situation? Where can we focus to help us avoid ever being here again? And what lesson would you like us to get from this experience? Those are the 3 very empowering questions that you can ask yourself to fix your communication. Thank you so much, boss. I am what I am because I have the best coach, and I am honored. It is always an honor to have you around. Thank you so much for everything, for all you do. And it's such a blessing. Please, let's follow each other. Let's support each other. Let's continue to work together. Thank you so much, Miss T and the T. Thank you, Motivation with the Weightlifting Geek. Thank you, our amazing community, for all the blessings and for all the opportunity to be in the best network. So we are doing a raid to the BC Dispatcher. I want to thank you. Have a beautiful weekend, everybody. Thank you so much, and let's continue growing together. Thank you. Oh, the next person isn't live yet. Okay. I am always so happy. We can talk and talk and talk. And I am really so blessed because when you have a community of people who are building each other up, that is the best thing you can ask, especially in these challenging moments. We also saw what happened with the pandemic when we were on lockdown. That was the first time something of that magnitude was happening. Oh, okay. The BC Game Dispatcher, are you on now? Because you have the mic after me. Your link is already here. I think people are already in your channel. People are already in your channel. The BC Dispatcher, we are waiting on you. Thank everyone for all the support. I think this thing about the timing is so confusing. We really are getting a lot of mix-ups, and I don't know what you're saying. If the Gaming Dispatcher is not ready to I don't know what you call. Yes, my dear friend, he says he is not ready to go live. If he is not ready to go live, it looks like he's not ready to go live. If he's not ready to go live, we can continue here. I will drop the link for people who want to come up the panel, and then we can continue our discussion. We don't lack things to say. We don't lack things to do. We can continue here in the live stream. So you just tell me what is next, and then we will go to the next person. It's always a pleasure to have you all here. And today we were talking about the importance of communication, and we shared some tips on how to fix communication in your relationships. Thank you, unbiased. Thank you, everybody cooperating to make this a real success. So are we live yet? Hey, Miss B, you're so welcome. I hope you're having a beautiful morning. Okay, if he's not ready, I don't know how long he needs to take, but we can do more talking here, and I have the link to the chat, and we can continue our discussion. Anybody who wants to come up, we can come up and talk, because when we are talking communication, there is always so much to talk about. Today, we were trying to discuss on how to fix communication in our relationships, and we saw how important it is. Okay, we can use 30 minutes here if you don't mind. If you guys want us to continue with the 30 minutes here, that's okay by me. We can continue to the next 30 minutes. And it's always a pleasure to have all of you here. And we were talking today about the importance of communication in our relationships. Okay, he is going. Okay, so we have 30 more minutes then. I take it with pleasure. It's always a pleasure to have a lot of people staying up with us and then just supporting us. And so today's topic, we were talking about the importance of effective communication in our personal and professional success. Communication, they say, is a very central life skill that helps us in everything we do. And we also say that communication has to be effective. The effective means it has to take us to a solution. So it has to be solution oriented. We don't just go and talk for talk's sake. We talk because we want to communicate something. We want to discuss something. We want to really analyze and bring out a solution. And so, oh, there's no problem. Anytime you're ready, you just tell me. I can go over and over and over. Okay, that's fine. Yes, sometimes this time zone thing is really confusing, and so we are on. We don't have any issues going on and on. We are talking about communication. We are talking about the importance of communication in relationships, in personal life, in professional life. For you to be successful, you need to be a good communicator. And we shared some basic communication skills that you can use to communicate better. And we said one of the main communication skills that we need is have something good to say. Say something good you learn from your failures, your successes, your mistakes you made, and how you corrected it and bailed yourself out. So you always have something to say. Okay, no, the BC dispatcher, you are okay. It's okay. We can wait for you. So just take your time and finish up. When you're ready, you just put your link here. Tell us you're ready, and then we'll come. We'll come, and then we will come over to your channel. So I can keep going and while waiting for you. And so we are saying that one of the basic skills that you can use and learn to be a good communicator is have something good to say. Even if you're talking about your challenges, talk about the lessons that you learned and how you got through the challenges. That is always helpful, because no matter what we do or what we say, there's always somebody to help us in our life, or there's always somebody we can learn from, because we learn in two ways: from our own experiences and from other people's experiences. And so we have to be open so that it is always a learning process. Okay, that's fine. I don't have any problems. When you're ready, you can tell me, and then I can end the broadcast. And so the second basic skill that we can learn to be good communicators or to communicate effectively is organize your thoughts before you share them, because this gives your message the best chance of being received the way you want it to be received. Organize your thoughts before you share them. And the third is repetition. It can often be helpful to rephrase and repeat what you're saying in different ways, so that people should really get the right message that you want to drive across. So repetition, they say, is the mother, the father, the brother, the cousin. Repetition is everything for learning, because we are not, some people learn when they learn something the first time they come in contact with it. Some people need a lot of time to learn. Some people need repetition. You have to do it over and over and over. Even think about it, when you learn a new recipe, the first time that you practice it, or that you cook you apply it, most often you don't get the best of results. And then with time, the more you do it, you repeat it, the more times you do it, every new time you do it, you get better results. And that's the same thing with communication. You have to repeat, but avoid repeating in the same words, because it becomes monotonous. If you are talking with somebody and the person is listening, you want to make them really get the message that you want to pass across. So you can rephrase, and then you can repeat it, but you want the person to be on the same page with you, so that you are communicating at the same level and you are focused at the same thing, because you want to get a specific outcome. And that's why you have to be intentional. And then the fourth basic skill, be clear and concise. Clarity and being concise. When I was in the school of journalism, they taught us the main thing about communication is being clear and concise. And they taught us that you communicate one sentence, one idea. Don't communicate so many things at the same time. When you are concise, it helps the person listening. That's fine. That's fine, my dear friends. I can go on till 10:30 my time. Yeah, in the next 20 minutes. I can go on till the next 20 minutes. That's okay. Hi, Fifi's Johnny. You're welcome. That's no problem. We are building each other up, and so it's really no problem. And if anybody wants to come up for us to talk, you have the link in the chat. If not, we continue talking. I am a journalist, and so I am trained to talk. But we have to say things that are helpful, not just talking. We have to say useful things. And so I'm trying to share some useful basic communication skills that you can use to be an effective communicator, because communication means a dialogue, it's a conversation, it's two or more people involved. It's not like one person. It's not like a preacher is preaching and we are there in the congregation listening. Communication is a conversation, and conversation is dialogue, and dialogue is between two people. And the aim of every communication is to find a solution or to communicate a message. Thank you so much. We have a solution or to communicate a message.
Hello.
Thank you so much. We have a solution or to communicate a message.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Sorry, I had to remove the echo. There was an echo. I had to put off the other link.
I thought it was on my end. So
it's mine. I didn't notice. I don't know how it came up.
Oh.
Thank you for coming up. Thank you for braving it or coming up. So, how are you today?
I'm fine. You?
Fine. It's a pleasure to meet you and to be in this live-a-thon together. And so you can share about communication, effective communication in relationships, or you can share anything that you want to share.
Basically, I just have a question. A problem that I have is how to word or how to say stuff. I hold a lot of things in fear of hurting the other person's feelings, but in return, I'm mad inside because either I feel like I said something too harsh, or I didn't say it at all, and now I'm mad because I want to say it, but then I feel like I'm gonna hurt your feelings the way it comes out, or it don't come out the way I felt it should have came out. And then when you hold it in, and then my thing is I've held it in, and now the next time I just blow up, and it's not good at all.
Okay, no, you're welcome, and I'm happy because they say once you have the courage to say it, you have solved the problem by half. And so you had the courage to talk about it. I'm so proud of you for being brave to share it in this platform. We are more than 30 people, and then you are welcome. It's a safe space. Before you came, I don't know if you heard from the earlier part of it. I am telling you, communication is the best, but you have to protect yourself. And also, I shared that when I was younger, I started the practice even before I became mature and discovered that it was a good strategy. What I do, if I have anything that is hurting me, I write it down. I just take a piece of paper and write down anything that is coming out, anything that I'm thinking about. Don't edit, just write and write and write and write and write. You will see that the more you're writing, the more you're getting, like, it's like you are purging yourself out of all the negativity and all those things. So write them down, burn them, and throw the ashes away. That's like, for me, it's like a ritual to liberate myself with it. And it's true that most often we don't talk about the things that we are challenged with because we fear what people will think, or we fear of being judged. and we fear of people's opinions. But I want to tell you, and everybody else, even me, I had to learn it. Don't bother what people will say or what people will think, because the person that you are worried about is you. And also because you cannot satisfy everybody.
Mm-hmm.
If you say it in one place, 10 people are there. There are 9 or 8 people who would disagree with what you're saying, who don't see your meaning, who don't even identify with what you're saying. It is okay. Because why? It is you. So it's you that you are talking about. It's you that you are protecting. It's you who wants to be first on your line. It's you. And so ask your question, what is in it for me? What do I lose if I go this way? And when you ask that question and focus on you, it is automatic. The whatever other people would think comes secondary, and that is even their opinion. So this thing that you're holding and that is really challenging you, is it worth keeping? If it's not going to serve you, if it's not going to build you, if it's not going to help you to grow, remove it from your system. And like I said, the best way that I do to remove my own things, I write them down and I burn them and I throw the ashes. You can even write them down and chop them off with your scissors, chop them in little pieces and put it in the trash. And for me, it's an image of saying, when the trash man comes to collect it or the trash woman comes to collect it, it is gone. It's no longer with me.
Mm-hmm.
So practice, try to think of, try it, write it down and throw it away if you can't tell anybody. But if you have somebody who is understanding and who can help you, like they say, find help. You can go for therapy, you can find a coach and talk with the person. Because when you keep it, it's really going to eat you up and give you more problems than solutions. Don't keep things. The heart has really little space. The heart has just enough space for love and positivity. Don't put any negative things there and weigh yourself down for nothing. So find help, find a therapist, find a coach. I'm saying you should find a therapist or a coach because these are professionals. Their work is not there to go and judge you or to 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 bad talk about you. Their job is to listen to you and help you find a solution. Because when we think that we should go and tell our friend, our family, our spouse, what do? They use it against us.
Mm-hmm.
And so it makes us so afraid of talking, and then we decide to keep it. But keeping it is not a good thing. It's not the solution. If you write it down and throw it away and it doesn't help, find a therapist, find a coach, find somebody who is just there to listen, because there are people online who are just there to listen to you talk and give you their own point of view. So don't keep it. It's weighing you down for nothing. Talk about it, but talk about it in a safe space. And what is a safe space? A coach, a therapist, or somebody that you really trust. But since the trust is not really something that we have every day, find a coach, find a therapist, and your best bet, write it down and throw it in the trash. And give yourself that mental image of saying, I have disposed of it. It is in the trash. Because when they collect the trash, you don't even know where they are taking it. It's gone. It's no longer in your house. Treat it like trash. Absolutely, Queen. Trust is so important. I tell people, I am 57. Unfortunately, I have nobody I will call my childhood friend, because I got so betrayed by all my friends that had become my sisters, that I have trust issues with friends that I knew a long time ago. And when I tell you that they broke the trust, I can tell you that it was not something that you can forget easily. But I decided to edit them out of my life and to focus on something that is building me up. And I decided to take my responsibility for myself, because only you are responsible for you. Even if people help, like my teacher used to tell us, people remember when people are doing the marathon, they are the ones who are doing the running. They have people by the side cheering them. Some people can give them water, some people will clap for them, some people will even give them some bananas to boost their energy, but they are the ones who are doing the running. And so you are the one who is running your race. You are the one who is your own rescue. You are the one who is responsible for yourself. Find your peace first, find your happiness first, and the rest you can serve them from your overflow. So find a therapist, find a coach, and if you can't, if you don't want to find a coach or a therapist, go with the writing way. I tell you, it works. Just when you come back in the evening, or when you sit in your spare time, or find, don't even wait for your spare time. Find time, take an empty piece of paper and your pen, and just start writing down anything that is coming in your mind. You don't need to write it finally or edit it. It's not something that you're going to publish. Just write and write and write and write and flush it. As the more you're writing, I'm telling you, the more you're liberating yourself. I've done it over and over so many times. Yes, Don't Hurt the Harvey says, when trust is broken, it's not easy to give it back to who broke it. It has to be rebuilt if you choose to go in that direction, at least for me. Yes, and rebuilding trust is so challenging. It's so challenging. But when you are with somebody who is, like in a relationship, if you are with somebody who is open, who has an open mind and is willing to grow, because it's not something that comes automatically. It's something that you build. It's something that you work for. It's something that you are intentional about. And so if the person is willing to grow, you can take those baby steps and grow together. But you can't grow with somebody who does not want to grow. And that's where it becomes so challenging. And that's where you have to ask for help. Find help from reliable sources. Don't go to people who are going to also add more pain to injury, like they say. Go to somebody, a coach or a therapist. Their job is to listen to you and to help you find a solution. They are not there to judge you. They are not there to even start thinking about what kind of person you are. They are there to listen to you and to help you find a solution. I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, it does. I actually signed up to see a therapist. My first visit is it's on Zoom. My first visit is this Monday coming. To be honest, at first I was like, because I've been through counseling before, marriage counseling with me and my husband, and I left the counseling session always feeling defeated, like it was always my fault. And I stopped going, and I was like, what I want to go to counseling for? They just listen to what you have to say. I want somebody to give me tools to help me work the situation out and not make me feel like I am the wrong person in everything. I know I'm not crazy. I know I'm not wrong. I know I have faults, and I know I play a big part in it. But the counseling sessions we were going to were like, it was all on me. All, like, you have one finger pointing at somebody and the other three pointing back at you. No, it was like all those fingers were pointing at me, and I was like, no, this ain't working. So at first I was like, no, I'm not going to a therapist, but I know I got issues within myself, childhood issues, that just, I guess, stuck up and bottled up in there and anger issues. So yeah, I guess it's time.
You have a lot of love coming in from the chat. I don't know if you can see it, but when you go out of the stream, you can go back to the chat and you will see all the love that they are sending to you. Everybody is sending you love. We are more than 24 people
Yeah,
in
I
the
can
live.
see. Thanks,
They are
Bodies.
sending you love and everything. And one thing I want you to go home with, don't ever feel guilty, or don't ever take the blame for someone else. And don't ever think that you are the person who is at fault. And I want to congratulate you for realizing that the coaching or the counseling was not giving you the results, and for leaving. Because there's nothing as tedious as doing the same thing and expecting a different result. You saw that the counseling was not helping, or the coaching was not helping, you left. And that's something I have a little challenge with going for therapy, because it's almost the same thing. And that's why I will tell you to look for a coach, because a coach is different, and that a coach will give you the life skills and give you the tools that you need to move from where you are to your next level. Because the therapist, most often, it's the same cycle. And the people with whom you are in the therapist, if you were going with your husband, they want to make you feel guilty. I'm talking because I'm a two-time divorcee, so I know what I'm talking about. They want to make you feel guilty and make you feel that you are the problem. No, you are not the problem. It's a collective thing. It takes two to tango, like they say. So I'm telling you, you have a lot of love coming in from the chat, and I'm really so proud of you. Everybody is so proud of you. Odom says you are amazing, and don't let anyone steal your joy. You go back to the chat and you will see all the love that they are sending to you. I'm telling you, don't let anybody make you think that you are less. You are you are more than enough. You are worthy of abundance. You are beautiful in and out. And please find your help. When you see that the help is no longer useful, move. Even if you find a coach and you see that the coach is no longer helping you, find a different one. You continue moving until you find the solution of what you're looking for. But like you say, are you a content creator?
Yes.
You have a channel.
Yes.
I'll look for you and connect with you. But I can recommend my coach. I have a confidence building coach who can help you. I have my Boss Life Online who can also help you. Or you can also send me a direct message on Instagram. My address is in the description below, and we can talk more about it. And I can give you the help, because I am a reset coach, and I use a 5-step process to help people reinvent themselves or reboot their lives. And so it's very, very important and very, very useful that you want to look for help to help yourself. You don't want to stay in that state of mind. You don't want to stay in that place again. You know within you that you are capable of more and you want more. And so I will advise you are seeing a therapist, see a coach, and then the coach is going to give you the tools that you need to get to your next level. It is so, so important that you know, because self-awareness is so important. You know within you that you are capable of more, and that's why you keep looking for more. And that's why we commend you, and we appreciate you, we congratulate you, we are proud of you, because you are not sitting there and whining. You are looking for a solution because you want to grow. And that is what we want, because every new day for us should be an opportunity to become better than what we were the day before, because the competition is with us. Every new day, your new mission. How can I be better today than the person I was yesterday? Don't let anybody dim your light. Don't
I,
let anybody
I tell
talk you.
myself that
Yeah,
every day. That's one of my prayers, that I can be better me today than I was yesterday. That's definitely one of my prayers.
absolutely. It's
Yeah.
very, very important. And I'm really proud of you because it takes a whole lot to talk about our challenges. I know because I've been there too. I know it's
Especially
difficult
on
to talk.
YouTube.
Yep. It's difficult to talk about our challenges, but once you start, it goes so well and you feel so liberated, and especially you get back your power. And the sky is not even your limit. The sky becomes your springboard because there's a whole galaxy out there. Thank you, Love to Travel. Thank you, everybody in the chat. I'm so proud of you all. I'm so proud of everybody because we are in a community of people who are building each other up. We are helping each other and building each other up. And thank you for everybody, even for all of those them in the bushes. Thank you for still taking time to come here and hang out with us. And I also thank everybody in the replay who is going to watch the replay and all the lessons. We are learning and growing together. And that is what community is all about. And that's what life is all about. Thank you. Don't hurt the harvest. Peace and love to everyone. Do you have anything else to say? I don't know if
No,
the
it's 11:30, so I'm gonna hop off. I
I
think
don't know if the
I
if
know some
the
of them moved over to African Dreaming channel until the other guy get ready. But he said 11:30, so
yeah.
yeah. I'm a hop down. But
Thank
thank
you
you for
so
letting me
much.
know.
It's an honor to have you. It's a blessing. I'm going to connect with you more and really discover more about you. You are an amazing person. And don't forget, when you are counting beautiful things, count you first. And
Thank
always be the
you.
first on your line
Thank you.
because you are worthy.
Thank you.
Okay, can somebody please drop the link for us? Unbiased, thank you. Can we have the link? Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us and for really gracing this occasion. It's a pleasure and it's always an honor. And please do not forget to say a kind word to somebody. When you say thank you, excuse me, sorry, or please, it goes a long, long way. So learn to be a pleasant person. Learn to say thank you. Learn to say excuse me. Learn to say sorry when you do something to somebody. Learn to say please. Just be polite and you will be a pleasant person. And once you are a pleasant person, everybody is always happy to be around you. Thank you, Bimbo. Thank you, everybody. I'm sorry I couldn't call all of you by name, but I greatly appreciate everybody. I'm going to go back to the chat and watch every one of you one after another. I am always so welcome. I thank you for all the people who shared the live stream. I thank you for those who are coming to watch the replay. I thank all of you for everything because no matter how little, when you spend your time, you spend your time with people, like they say, time is the most expensive commodity that we have, which money cannot buy. And so I really don't take your time for granted. I am so happy. I am so blessed. And I am so honored to be in this community, to be with you all, to share all the time. And like as we go to the next person in the live-a-thon, I want you to go home with this quotation. A little communication goes such a long way. If you are busy, say it. If you are upset, express it. If you are running late, let people know. If you don't want to do something, be straightforward. And if you are unsure, ask. It's so simple, but it's so important. And don't take it for granted that people will guess. Sometimes the things that you think people will guess are far from the things that they are even thinking about. And so you spare the person all that anxiety of trying to guess and not guessing correctly and all the. So don't let people guess. Be concise, speak up, say it in a way that the person will understand, and in a way that you would serve each other, because you are in the business of serving each other. And today's topic was how to fix communication in your relationships. And I also want you to take home the empowering questions. What is it that I can do to move us out of this situation? Where can we focus to help us avoid ever being here again? And what lesson would you like us to get from this experience? When you ask such empowering questions, like the experts explain, it means you are open to dialogue, you are open to solutions, and that you want nothing but the best for the relationship. And so when you ask, and that's why they call them empowering questions, because when you have a challenge in your relationship, be there your relationship with your spouse, in your home, with your children, at work, or with colleagues, or even as you go out, when you ask questions, why did you do it? What has When you ask what and mostly why questions, you are looking for justification. That immediately blocks the person with whom you are in dialogue with, because they have to find a way to justify, why did you do this, why did it not happen this way? And so you block the conversation. It's no longer a dialogue. It's like you putting somebody on the accusation bench, and then you are trying to find judgment for them. And people really are not very comfortable with such situations. And so experts say avoid those why questions when you want to communicate to fix something in your relationship, and use empowering questions. And sometimes when we ask why, we are not even ready to hear the why. Thank you so much, Unbiased. I want to be sure if he's ready. Is he ready? Can somebody check if he's ready, and then we can end this broadcast? Is he ready? Can we end the broadcast? I want to thank you all for your patience and for always being a community of people who are building each other up and growing together. So remember, in communication, as it is a daily thing, remember to be kind to the people you interact with, to anybody you meet. Give them a smile. Like they say, if you meet someone without a smile, give them one of yours. Remember the words thank you, excuse me, sorry, and please. They are very simple words, but they go a long way to fix communication in your relationships. Be willing to learn and grow. Be willing to just love people where they are, and be willing to take your responsibility to preserve your happiness. You have to be willing to protect your peace. You have to be willing in everything you do. You have to be willing. The willingness, your willingness to try, becomes your real springboard to start from. And so I want to thank everybody who has been here. Thank you, Queen Unbiased. Thank you for doing all the liaison for doing all the networking and the connection. And thank you, everybody. We are going to end today's live. I am so blessed, and it's a pleasure to have you. I am happy that we can be able to belong to this kind of community of people building each other. So as you go along with your duties, remember the empowering questions to fix communication in your relationships. In a challenging situation, ask the other person, what is it that I can do to move us out of this situation? Where can we focus on to help us avoid ever being here again? And what lesson would you like us to get from this experience? And we say that they are empowering questions because they open up for dialogue. And we are saying that dialogue helps us to solve problems. And so in our communication, like we always say, communication in relationships is all about understanding the other person and reaching a common understanding. It is never about winning an argument or forcing your opinion on others. Remember, it is a dialogue, which also means you have to listen to each other. And the power of listening in communication cannot be underestimated. Listening, and like real listening to understand, is one of the main main prerequisites of a good communication. Thank you, Onwadiya. Thank you, everybody. We are going to end this live show. I am so proud of you all. I thank you all. I'm wishing you a very, very blessed weekend. Take care. Resilience champions, love you, and let's continue growing because we are built for great things. Thank you, everyone.